Paper Crafters Library. In this video I'm going to show you how to create this wonderful birthday card featuring products from Fancy Pants Designs Swagger collection. Now the pattern papers that I'm using for my card come from the Fancy Pants Designs 6x6 paper pad from the Swagger collection. The main pattern paper mat has this hat pattern that you see here, which I cut to 4 by 5¼ inches. I have a strip of this blue pattern paper, which is 7/8 of an inch high by 6, and I'm going to be trimming it down. I have this kind of wood grain pattern, which I've cut to 1½ by 6. I have this pattern that's kind of a damask type pattern, gray, that I cut to 3/4 of an inch by 6, and then finally I have this striped pattern that I cut to 1¼ by 6 inches. Now my card base is basil cashmere paper, and I cut a standard 4¼ by 5½ inch card. I did that by taking a 4¼ by 11 inch piece of cardstock, scoring it at 5½ inches, and then folding it in half with my bone folder. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my patterned paper piece and I'm going to center and stick it onto my cashmere cardstock card base. And I'm just using double-sided adhesive for that. So there you can see what that looks like. So I'm now going to set that aside so I can stamp the sentiment. Now I'm going to be stamping my sentiment onto this strip of blue paper, which is 7/8 of an inch high. And the stamp I'm using says, "Have a wonderful birthday," and it comes from a new line of stamps called from Artistique Designs. And I'm going to be inking this up in my jet black archival ink, and then I'm going to stamp it onto my strip. So there you can see what that looks like. Next thing I'm going to do is take a pair of my paper snips, and I want to cut the end of this into a fishtail. So I'm just cutting inwards, essentially cutting a triangle out of the tip like so. And I also went ahead and did the exact same thing with this 1½ inch piece of striped pattern paper. So these stripes I'm now going to set aside with the card. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to use this notebook edge die along the top of my pattern paper piece. So I'm going to take the die and I'm just going to align the top edge of the die with the top edge of my pattern paper. I have a little piece of tape to hold it in place, and then I'm going to take this and run this through my Big Shot. And here you can see what that looks like. So now what I want to do is arrange all my pieces onto my card. So this piece, and I'm not sticking anything down yet because I first want to figure out my placement. Like so. So I always like to kind of arrange my elements before I go ahead and stick them down. And then I'm going to be using a button from the Swagger collection button set, and I'm going to be putting this one, I think, in the center of that one as well. So here generally is what I want my pieces to look like. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by putting some adhesive here so that I can stick my birthday one down. Then I'm going to place some adhesive along the bottom of that strip so that I can stick my other piece to that like so. And then I'm going to put some adhesive along this strip so that I can stick that down. So you can see now it's all one piece. And then I'm going to go ahead and place adhesive along all of these pieces and then position these onto my card. And I'm positioning them about an inch, actually, let's see, a little bit lower than that. Probably about an inch from the bottom edge of my card. And then what I'm going to do is I'm flipping it this way and taking my scissors and cutting the overhanging papers using the edge of my card as a guide. So there you can see what that looks like. So now it's time to do the button. So for my button, all the buttons that come with the Swagger collection come with these little foam dots on the back of them. So I pulled it off the foam dots and then I simply used a couple of mini glue dots to stick it to my card. The chipboard button, which also comes with the Swagger button set, I also pulled it off its foam dot and then just threaded some of my baker's twine through it and tied that in a knot and then just kind of rubbed the ends between my fingers to fray it. And then that piece I'm sticking on to the center of the button the same way that I stuck the button on to my card, just pressing it against a couple of mini glue dots like so, and then just sticking the chipboard button to the center of the main button. So there you can see what that looks like. And our card is now finished. If you enjoyed this video, you enjoy the way we teach and would like to learn even more, we invite you to check out the Paper Crafters Library. Whether you're a beginner looking to learn the basics or an advanced paper crafter looking to learn new skills and techniques, you'll find it all here. Stamping, card making, scrapbooking, altered art, we cover it all. With over 1,000 videos currently in our library and over 50 videos added each month, we're the largest and most comprehensive online library of video tutorials for paper crafters on the internet. We invite you to visit our library and see what we're all about.